Now, many sectors in the global economy have undergone seismic shifts as the coronavirus pandemic hits services, liquidity and business models.
It has significantly spurred the pace of digital development as customers chase alternative payment methods and new tools to help them do business, fueling collaboration in some areas of the finance industry.
Well, earlier, Johnny and I spoke to Paco Ybarra, who's the CEO of the Institutional Clients Group at Citi. And we began by asking him about the impact of Covid-19 on innovation in banking. And we also welcomed him to Sibos 2020.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. I think the first impact of Covid-19 was not on innovation itself, but on the usage of alternatives that were there already, that we had already developed, but clients had not adopted with the enthusiasm that we have experienced after COVID. So it is in the first wave is much more about adoption and adoption change than about new things being developed. But obviously, an increase in adoption has very quickly led to innovation as people have used those digital channels much more. And what we have experienced is this explosion of usage of the digital channels.
Paco, much of the narrative around financial innovation has become stereotyped, perhaps. We have fintechs cast as disruptors or big techs portrayed as waiting in the wings to gobble up financial services. Many technologies are portrayed as silver bullets, AI, machine learning, blockchain, etc. What do you think about financial innovation?
Well, I think in the institutional arena, which is where I operate and where a business operates, the concept of a major change in paradigm, something that from one day to the other completely changes the way companies make payments or the way securities are traded or the way financial life happens for institutions, has proven to be a very unlikely thing. Even every technology that has promised to do something like that has disappointed in a way. And I think all that has to do with the fact that the infrastructure that sustains those activities today is very critical in many ways. It provides trust. It is important for monetary policy. It is important for regulation. It is important for the woodworking of economies. And changes are always going to be measured and not traumatic on that. But that doesn't mean that there is no room for innovation. There's a significant room for innovation. And I think fintechs, in that sense, rather than bringing a complete traumatic change or an alternative model, are more and more seen as collaborators or entities that are pushing for change and helping change happen in a way that changes the infrastructure without dramatically eliminating it or creating a completely alternative model.
But then when you look ahead to the future, we know that all this innovation is happening, and yes, it may well have been stepped up as a result of the pandemic, but more to the point, can you see it continuing? And above all, is it sustainable?
I think I see it as accelerating because, in very significant part, because our clients are expecting much change. They are demanding change, and what they want to see from us is continuous improvement in the cost of transacting, in the speed at which things get reflected in their accounts, and so the quality of the service that we provide, in the security of the service that we provide, and that is pushing us. And I think going back to fintechs, the fact that there's innovation happening is pushing the existing infrastructure to improve and not open the door for a revolution to happen. So the pressure is not diminishing, it's mounting. And this acceleration of digitization through COVID is only doing more to accelerate that. So I would expect innovation to continue and to accelerate.
We seem to be in a time in which the pendulum is swinging against collective action or multilateral cooperation. Has globalization been cancelled, or is it in reverse?
I think it's a strange phenomenon that goes in two different opposite directions. I think when you look at our clients, I think more than ever, our clients are thinking about the global market as their playground. I mean, they're not thinking about being businesses in a country or in a region. Even the new companies, but also old companies, are global in nature, and they think of global markets as the arena in which they're going to play. At the same time, what you see is a certain fracture of global cooperation politically, and eventually that reflects also on cooperation when building financial infrastructure. So you you don't see a world that is converging towards one concept of what the financial infrastructure should be. And you have to live with that combination. Demand for global services increasing, the world not going towards a convergence of financial infrastructure. And I think that's the place where we as an institution, for instance, have to play a role trying to bridge both things.
But the bottom line, Paco, is that this is all part of a transformative process. And as we know, transformation itself is costly, which begs the question, where is the liquidity coming from? And how do you construct or at least prepare for a new landscape and at the same time ensure that the fundamentals of a business are strong enough to take that and go forward?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? We have, as businesses, we have to make sure that we continue to provide something that is seen as adding value to our clients and our clients are willing to pay for. And, also constantly change to make sure that we, give clients what they demand and do that in a way where we still are profitable institutions. And that is a challenge, particularly in the world that we live in with very low interest rates, things that have gone against it. But we have, and other institutions have been managing to still make sense of our business in that environment. And that is where we will have to continue to do going forward. We'll have to accept change and understand how change is going to happen and try to build a business, a profitable business around it by providing clients what they demand.
Paco, thank you very much for joining us at Sibos 2020. I hope you enjoy the coming days. Paco Ybarra, the CEO of the Institutional Clients Group at Citi.